I'm Spider2B, and today I'll be going over the new Harmonization system coming with the upcoming update, Everglowing Justice, as well as the new S-Rank Physical Amplifier Omniframe, Alisa Echo, the only officer I would want to get arrested by. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share, subscribe, and catch me live on my Twitch. In this video, I'll quickly run through Alisa's playstyle, ascensions, weapons and harmonization upgrade system, builds, her cub, team setups, and finish with my poll and build recommendations, and timestamps are included. Alisa is a free unit obtained from the Dorm Expedition feature, costing 100,000 expedition currency to obtain the 50 shards to fully unlock her, just like her fellow teammate Ayla Kaleido. This is very achievable, especially if you've been on top of your Dorm expeditions, so you can get her right when she drops for free. So now that we all have Alisa, let's sum up how to play her without reading an essay. This is Alisa's core gameplay, starting with holding basic attack while spamming the first orb to charge her bow. Once the bowstring is filled, spam 3 orb pings until the chain attack activates, and then you should have enough energy to activate her double excalibur ultimate with time stop, and grant her a charge indicated by the star above the bow gauge. Afterwards, you can choose to use an orb to expend that charge for an enhanced shot, and then swap off. Her knight will continue to attack on field to support the team even when Alisa is off field. And note that the healing from her QTE and chain attack will grant a physical damage buff, and you don't want to stay on Alisa for too long since she does minimal damage compared to Rosetta and Stigmata. She's meant to swap in, quickly build her ultimate, and then swap off. Using Alisa on field for too long will lead to orb and damage downtime, and an aerial gymnastics lesson with Alisa that will send you flying. The team rotation is the same as Live Luminance. Start with Alisa and use a 3-ping yellow orb, and then swap into Stigmata for her core and ultimate. If Stigmata is SS or SS3 with deadline timing resonance, spam orbs and then ult again, and then you can actually repeat the whole dodge and then do this entire core and ultimate again. Then you can swap to Rosetta to do her ultimate and then plunge, and then swap to Alisa to gap fill with her core gameplay before swapping to Bolter. As for rank upgrades, at S5 and SS, it triggers both her QTEs and a 3 orb ping on swap-in and damage bonus respectively. She can function at S, but SS should be the minimum stopping point for smooth core gameplay and crit buff uptime for the team. SS3 gives her an extra special orb on swap-in, as well as more damage for her knight. It's overall a very minor upgrade, and SS gives her a free charge for her enhanced shot and provides the classic amplifier team and self-damage buffs. This is the ideal stopping point. Anything after is basically up to you, but not needed. But the best part is, like Ayla Kaleido before her, Alisa on debut will have shards obtainable with Battle Pass vouchers, which you can gain for free from events and the Battle Pass. And anyone can reasonably get her to SS, but how fast will depend on if you buy the BP or if you need vouchers for another SS unit. Of course, you can use Pancake Skulls if you have a lot extra, but otherwise I'd save them for SS-ing the next debut S-Rank unit coming in the next patch. As for weapons, the 5-star bow adds some minor healing scaling and damage, and it's okay but hard to justify. Her 6-star signature bow grants some damage buffs, but more importantly it gives her extra matching orbs to trigger her enhanced shot, making it necessary for seamless gameplay. And 6-star signature weapons now enable the new Harmonization upgrade system, so let's cover that next. Basically, how Harmonization works is as long as you're level 80 and you own a 6-star weapon that the character can equip, you can use 25 accelerators to harmonize the weapon to the character. These accelerators are obtained from the new bi-weekly class reflection game mode, basically 14 straight battles with characters with HP and energy maintained. It's a game mode of endurance, but it's not too difficult for meta players. But for the most part, even if you're having a hard time with the later stages, you can reset the fights to grant you accelerators. Each bi-weekly clear will give 11 accelerators, and if the boss rotation is a new first time clear, you'll get another 10 for a total of 21. But note that this is not every week. For the remaining 4 accelerators needed for the 25, you may need to spend some BP vouchers or Pancake Skulls, although I personally don't recommend the latter since you can get vouchers from events. With this bi-weekly rotation, you should have enough to harmonize any new upcoming S-Rank easily as long as you've been keeping up with Clash Reflection, and eventually enough to catch up on all the previous S-Rank units, more on that priority later. After harmonizing, you can spend 1200 tops, farm from the AE5 farming stage, or gain from the Clash Reflection to unlock and equip any 6-star 2-piece memory set onto the character. You can freely swap between any 2-piece set after unlocking them for the 1200 tops. Harmonization allows for a lot more customization of builds, including running 2 4-piece memory sets simultaneously, like for example, running the 4-piece signature DPS set and 4-piece Caudy for Alpha, Crimson Weave, and Bianca Stigmata so they're a lot stronger, or mix and match to optimize and fill in gaps for teams such as the Dark Team, where Selena can run 4-piece Seraphine, 2-piece Caudy, and 2-piece Einstein, allowing her to shred and maintain that fast ult uptime without sacrificing Caudy, and freeing S3 Karenina Shire to run her full DPS 4-piece Boon and 2-piece Condalina set, or even 4-piece Boon and 4-piece Bathlon sets if you decide to harmonize her as well. Or you can even add additional debuffs, like moving 2-piece Einstein to Harmonization so you can fit in 2-piece Gloria for additional debuffs for game modes like Pain Cage. I'll have a list of character builds in the pinned comment and description for shorter and extended game modes since there's too many to list here in this video. On the patch's debut, it will give you 25 accelerators and 1200 tops for free if you're level 80, so you have enough to harmonize Alisa if you get her 6-star weapon. And I highly recommend you harmonize Alisa before anyone else since her build highly prefers her signature set 4-piece Signa, which gives allies healed by her QTE, crit rate, and crit damage, so it's an essential set that must always be equipped on her, and 4-piece Da Vinci for the buffs and double QTE for Bianca Stigmata. And for the memories, you want to resonate plus 15 attack and crit on the top row, and amplifier class skill on the bottom row, and you want to hypertune slots 4, 5, and 6 first, and then slots 1, 2, and 3 afterwards. If she's super hypertuned, so you've hypertuned all 6, then I recommend the yellow orb as the starting orb so she can quickly gap close and activate Rosetta QTE at the start of the battle. And technically, since Alisa doesn't have a custom weapon type and uses the same bow type as the Biancas before her, you could choose to harmonize their 6-star signature weapons onto Alisa if you absolutely cannot afford Alisa's signature weapon. But if you don't have access to a 6-star bow, 4-piece Signa and 2-piece Phillips works in the meantime. And in terms of harmonization priority, after Alisa, I'd harmonize the new current S-rank debut character if you're watching this in the future, and then your 2nd generation attackers like Alpha Crimson Weave and Bianca Stigmata with Caudy for the 4-piece extra damage bonus effect. I highly advise against harmonizing Lee Hyperreal due to the minimal benefit and his transition from main DPS later on. Then harmonize the amplifiers with Caudy, Da Vinci, or Guinevere, starting with Isla Kaleido since she's the ice damage DPS, and then 21 Feral, Selena Capriccio, and then finally Liv Imperia. Karenina Shire and Vera Garnet would be the final candidates for harmonization. Oh, and I almost forgot, in terms of 6-star weapon resonances, she doesn't need any resonances to function, but having the usual Glorious Spear and Superconducting Axial Ray are nice to support the team. In terms of team setup, it's pretty simple, just swap Liv Luminance for Alisa for the top meta physical team. If you're missing Bianca Stigmata, replace her with any physical DPS unit, and if you didn't pick up Rosetta from the free selector, any physical tank will work here. Alisa's Cub is the Griffin. It can give her some survivability and interrupt resist with the active skill, but otherwise it just does damage. The exclusive skill buffs her ultimate's crit damage and attacks with her on field, so this is the priority skill upgrade, but for the most part it's primarily a damage buff to Alisa. So overall not needed for her to function and a low priority pet unless you want to pull for it. As for my pull and build recommendations, to sum it up, Alisa is technically free from expeditions and upgradable for free through the battle pass vouchers and Pain Cage skulls, so in that front she's definitely worth building and upgrading. I'd say it's a lot more important to get her 6-star bow first so you can harmonize her set, but if you got the black cards, you could consider pulling her to jumpstart her rank upgrades if you have the extra black cards. And just note that next patch we're getting a full cost S-rank character debut. That patch will also feature a permanent free one-time S-rank selector from the standard banner, but it will only contain S-ranks that debuted 2 patches previously, so don't expect Alisa to be in it for another 2 S-rank patches. And when comparing Alisa to the former meta physical support, Liv Luminance, she blows her out of the water. Having the crit rate and crit damage buff tied to her healing QTE allows Alisa to buff both Bianca Stigmata and Rosetta's crit, so you effectively have 100% crit uptime on everyone compared to Liv, where you can only buff the next character. Having the 100% crit rate on not only Bianca Stigmata but also Leap Rosetta noticeably increases the consistency and damage of the physical team, so Liv Luminance is no longer worth investing in. But it's okay Liv, you always have a spot in my Babel team. And before anyone asks, yes, the officer skin is the best skin, and it's free from the community event. This patch also brings some nice changes like increased Pain Cage skulls, auto-clear serum optimization, auto-clear pet ticket stage for Norman, and the 4-piece Frederick set being triggered off of Matrix instead of Dodge. So overall, some very nice quality of life changes. And that's all for Best Girl Alisa and Harmonization. If there's any updates or corrections, I'll leave it in the pinned comment down below. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any further questions, drop in the comments, ask our community Discord, or drop by my Twitch streams to get them answered live. And you can also catch any other updates on my Twitter. And of course, I want to thank all my GigaChat YouTube members, Twitch subs, and donators. I love you guys. And yeah, I'm probably late for work tomorrow recording this, so that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and peace late.